Hello, good evening. Let me ask you a very simple question first. Can any one of you give me an example of a unique animal in Malaysia? Can any one of you? Okay, that's very good because I have never heard tapir from anyone. Most of them will actually be giving me like orang utan, tikus bulan, or maybe badak. But tonight, yes, you're right, I'm going to share about tapir. Can you please go for the first slide? This is a tapir. Has any one of you actually seen a real tapir before? Like where? Which zoo? Sorry? Exactly. To be honest, I myself, I saw that in Singapore before. And the reason why I like tapir so much, I actually have, I feel a connection between myself and tapir. I don't know why. Maybe my past life used to be a tapir, I don't know. And I thought tapir is a very lonely animal. Why? Because it is a local animal in our region, but many people actually do not know anything about it. None of us, maybe you can, none of us, because you seem to be very creative people tonight, none of us can actually tell a story about tapir. And first of all, I would like to share with you some characteristics of tapir, which I think I have a very strong connection to it. Okay, tapir is Malaysian, we all know, because the tapir that I show you, the real name is actually Malayan tapir. So they actually live in Malaysia, but like Mr. Chiu said, I actually saw tapir in Singapore Zoo. But who cares? Because 44% of residents in Singapore are Malaysians. Okay, thank you. And tapir, just like myself, personally, I'm a vegetarian, so I only eat vegetables. Tapir also eat vegetables, they don't eat meat. So you can rest assured that if you run into a tapir, they won't attack you. They won't attack you because they don't eat meat. They are not like lions or tigers. Okay, third of all, they are like all of us, cute but not a celebrity. And why I say cute but not a celebrity, because they actually look very adorable. They look adorable in real life. But unfortunately, they are not popular. They are not known to many of us. So they are not a celebrity. Unlike orang utan is a celebrity because everyone talks about it. And in fact, tapir appears many times on Malaysian stamps, but many of us have never observed that. First of all, tapir is very independent, like many of us. And why I say independent? Because tapir, they don't actually live in group. They don't always travel in group. They always travel alone. They live in the forest, they live in the rainforest, they always travel alone until mating season, when they need a girlfriend or boyfriend to make babies, and the mothers will stay to raise the children, but the father will go out again. So they are always independent. This one, nocturnal. Can anyone tell me what's the meaning of nocturnal? Yeah, just like all of us. At 9 o'clock, 8:30, we are still hanging out here, you see. So tapir actually come out at night. They work at night. And another point I want to bring up is that tapir, go back. Okay, I am actually leading a project. I'm actually running a project of raising the awareness of tapir, the animal itself, and also this animal is actually an endangered animal. The whole world, we only have 2,200 of them left in the world now. Most of them are actually in Malaysia, but many of us have never seen the real one. So I am trying to create a festival because I'm the theatre manager in Penang Park, where you are right now, and I thought I could actually introduce tapir into performing arts or visual arts. So I start to think, how can I actually make this known to many of us? So I thought, adults are not very imaginative. Most of us, we read books, we read magazines, we read novels, but we don't really have any connection with animals. When it comes to animals, children are more excited. Children are more happy to know about animals. So I run into a number of children's books online, and to my surprise, many of these books are actually not available in our country. The tapir live in our country, but books about tapir actually are not available in our country. The first one is even written by a Penanger, but that book is available. You can actually get it from bookstore, but most of the other books, they are not available in the country. So, and the reason why I want to bring up one characteristics about tapir is that, can you tell me from that picture or from your impression, what is the colors of tapir? Exactly, black and white. But black and white is not the only colors for tapir. We are only talking about Malayan tapir here. There are 4 types of tapir around the world, but Malayan tapir live mainly in Malaysia, and this is the largest tapir in the world, and this is the only black and white colored tapio. And black and white gives us a lot of imagination. What is black? What is white? Black could be something bad. White could be something good. And black could be something wrong. White could be something right. This is our impression. As an adult, this is our impression between black and white. So Josephine from Penang, she took black and white and created a storybook that's called Do What's Right. The tapio is actually the main character in that because tapio itself, it's a combination of black and white. So it is time for the adults to teach children how to differentiate between the goods and the bad ones. And some of the other books are actually from Korea, from China, from Taiwan, which are completely not available and they have never been translated in any other languages. Okay, there's one very important thing about tapio because when I try to raise awareness of tapio, I try to work with community. It's very hard to work with the government. So I try to work with NGO. So I chanced upon an opportunity to speak to St. Nicholas. I always want to do something with St. Nicholas, but unfortunately, as an artist myself in Performing Arts Center of Penang, St. Nicholas, they are the home for many people who do not see. If you do not see, it is very difficult to be performing because you wouldn't know how you look to other people and how are you going to be seen. You do not know. So I always want a chance to work with St. Nicholas. And when I have this idea about tapio, I talk to them. To my surprise, even before I spoke to them, then only I realized that tapio is actually the mascot of St. Nicholas because tapio is actually blind. And tapio being a blind animal, there's one thing very dangerous about tapio that a lot of us may not know. But if you live in Selangor, sometimes you may run into a tapio on highway. Because we, human, we have chopped down a lot of trees. Deforestation is a big issue for tapios. They cannot live in the forest anymore, so they come out. But when they come out, they can't see, so they always get knocked down by lorries. And it's true, every month you will at least see one dead tapio on the street. Yes. Okay. So how are we going to raise awareness? There are so many things we can do, but I'm an artist. I'm in performing arts. I deal with art. So I thought, okay, tapio itself, from the name itself, we can start with maybe visual art, calligraphy. Look at the Chinese character, the Korean character, the Japanese character. Can anyone tell me what is the green colored words? Can anyone? I'm very disappointed. It's not Arabic, it's actually Bahasa Melayu dalam tulisan Jawi. So it's actually a Malay word, cipan. Cipan is the name of tapio in Bahasa Melayu. So tapio is an English word, cipan is the Malay word. You see, we Malaysians, we speak the national language, but we don't even know anything about this regional animal. Shame on you. Okay. I'm glad that you laughed. I was so scared. Okay, so I start to talk to some calligraphers, some of the people who can actually write very well, especially Chinese characters and Japanese characters. And we plan to actually run the festival in April. I will tell you why in April. And I'm going to use the the gallery here we have in Penang Park to put up some of the artwork. This is a painting, and tapio is black and white. But when it comes to an artist, it doesn't have to be black and white because artists are creative people. They tend to, combine different elements of the world into something that they like, something that they don't like. They try to express themselves with colors, with different art forms. So tapio can actually be colored. Why? Because tapio can be wearing a kebaya. You see? Because they are Malaysians. Another one is we are trying to do storytelling because we believe that it's very difficult to talk to adults about tapio, but you are different. And it's a good way for us to actually communicate about the endangerment of tapio to children because children is the next generation of the future. So we always try to impose the right things and the good things to children. And that's why we have a few storytellers who will be telling stories about tapio in April and also art form. Does anyone know what is the art form of this one? What type of dance is this? Nobody. I thought there would be at least one. No, this art form is called Buto. The art form is called Buto. Buto is a Japanese art form. The reason why I introduced this art form into Penang Park is because this art form itself, all the artists will actually be painted into white color. And they will usually be performing in black box, where the theater itself, the venue itself is going to be completely black in color. So it's going to be in the darkness. This is the art form that we'll be introducing about tapio in April. And theater, because we are theatre. Of course, we will be doing a theatre. And USM, a lecturer in USM has already engaged some of her students to be actually working with not just Penang Pack, but also the underprivileged children of St. Nicholas, and also some other people from the homes, different homes, who are actually from poor families who cannot afford to come to a theatre, who cannot afford to join any theatre companies. They will be given a chance to actually work on this very special animal on a very special production, and everything is going to happen in the end of April. Okay, merchandise items. So a lot of us will have never thought of creating something about tapio, but I myself, I went down to Little Penang Street Market. Does anyone not know what Little Penang Street Market is? You don't know. So none of you actually knows. Little Penang Street Market is where the local people, local handicraft artists will showcase their artwork and sell their merchandise items on the last Sunday of every month. So tomorrow will be the last Sunday of February. So if you have time, please go to Little Penang Street Market located at Upper Penang Road. I have spoken to about 15 or 16 of the artists. They love the idea. Why? Because nobody has ever talked about tapio. Everyone talks about orang-utan. Everyone talks about harimau. Everyone talks about singa. And we don't even have singa in Malaysia, unfortunately. And today you're very lucky, because I have one sample here. This is a very interesting tapio, and this is very cute. And a lot of girls actually love it. I'm a guy, but I love it. And you see, by knowing a new animal can actually help us to create a new merchandise item to make money. And they are lovely. I'm sure some of the guys can consider buying this for their girlfriends, or the other way around. Okay, and then we are very lucky, because as I try to approach WWF, does anyone not know what WWF is? So you all know lah, right? You all know kan? Okay, WWF looks after endangered animal. And many of us do not know. Do you know which is the first NGO in our country, in Malaysia? You don't know. Malaysian Nature Society, MNS. MNS was established in 1940 in Malaysia. It is not just the first NGO in Malaysia, it is also considered the very, very first NGO in the whole world. But unfortunately, people in Malaysia do not know anything about them. They look after tapio as well. That's why their logo itself is a tapio. And last thing that I want to share with you is this too. Baku-san in Japan. Baku means tapio in Japanese. San means Mr. So Baku-san is Mr. Tapio in Japanese. Why do I share this one in Japan with you? Because in Japan, children who are scared and awakened by nightmare in the middle of the night always pray to get Baku-san come into their room. Because from generation to generation, even if today you walk on the street in Tokyo, you ask any Japanese parents, any Japanese kid, do you know what Baku or Baku-san is? They will tell you, yes, Baku-san eat all my nightmares. They believe that Baku-san is a nightmare eater. So when they are scared, when they have a nightmare, when they wake up from their dreams, they often pray, Baku-san, 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 come into my room, Baku-san, come into my room. As they continue sleeping again, Baku-san will walk into their room and eat away all the nightmare. Yeah, this is what they believe. And even until today, I just spoke to a few Japanese today. They all know what it is, and they still believe in it. And to be honest, Baku-san do not live in Japan. They are not a regional animal in Japan. Yet, Japanese believe they exist. Japanese make them into merchandise items. Japanese make them into comic books. Japanese make money from them. They live with us. Why can't we do the same thing? Thank you very much.